What's up, guys? This is gonna be straight into it. So we're gonna be showing you guys my setup for a stereo. I'm just gonna kind of go over the equipment first. Equipment that I've acquired over the years is a Altic Lansing. It is a ATP3. So you can go and Google that right quick, and it should show up. Altic Lansing ATP3. It's an earlier model. I believe it's discontinued. You're not gonna be able to find one of those, a complete set. At least I haven't been able to. But basically, I have a Boss Audio. It's a Phantom. What do you call this? 1500 watt amp, I guess. Yeah. It's a monoblock, so that only has a single input. You can get these from almost any single. I'm gonna put the name of the store that I got it from. But this is a stock power supply from a Dell. I don't even know what you call those. It's not an ATX. It's just a Dell desktop computer power supply. That's how I convert AC electricity into DC electricity, like car battery power. Speaker wire I needed to upgrade. This here is a Sony. This is not a studio monitor. It's just a stereo speaker. So that's how that would be set up. It came with a boombox and everything, but I just don't have the boombox. I just took the speakers. I found them actually. That's my bass controller for the amp. It came with the amp. This speaker I got separately. I don't know if you guys seen my other videos when I had the $30 Walmart cheapy dual sub. That sub, I mean, I guess it could do the job, but I just didn't want to blow it, so I knocked that guy out and I threw in a 2000 watt. So from 500 to 2000, that's a pretty big jump, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of afraid that it was gonna damage the box, which basically I did. This sub, it rips. I mean, this sub isn't anything to play with. For those of you guys who know this sub, it rips. It ain't nothing to play with. It literally has stuff falling off the wall and stuff. The switch setup, I'll get into that later. But as for the Altic Lansing ATP3, this model is very, very, very cheap, and that's basically the main reason why I got it for so cheap. I mean, props to Altic Lansing. I mean, these guys, they look like they know what they're doing, and they make more than just 2.1 speaker sound systems. And this model I particularly like. I had the previous version to it. I forgot the model and whatnot, but these systems are known for big sound, small size, also small price. Awesome. That's what that equals. So the channels on this guy are burnt out and it's shorted, but I still managed for it to work. The left channel, I don't even have the left speaker, but this cord here is for your master speaker, your right speaker controller, whatever. You guys can look up reviews on this and whatever. I'm sure you would know that your input right here is where the green goes. So I had a converter cable from the computer that I was using running straight into one side, which was the left, went to the car amp, and then the right lead went to the Altic Lansing through the converter cable. I'm pretty sure you guys would understand where I'm coming from with that. So yeah, that's basically how it worked. Then how I got the car amp to work, all I did was pretty much take a like back in the old days, you know, before we could afford big, what do you call them, like receivers. What we used to do is we used to take PC power supplies from old computers, like those old Macintosh and whatever, and Compaq, my bad. And we used to splice all the wires, all the yellow wires to the highest power that these power supplies give out. That is 12 volts DC. So AC comes in, alternating current, it gets converted, however, and then it goes out into 12 volts DC, which powers the car amp. One of these leads is nowhere near enough to keep this beast afloat. Like, in order to keep it, especially at the low notes when it's really shaking the box, this boy right here is gonna need all these wires to carry as much DC electricity as it can. If you look closely, you can see this little wire here from underneath, bridging from the main power over to the signal. That there can remain small because it's just a turn-on lead. All my black wires going there. A couple times I've actually stuck a screwdriver and like actually left it bridging across all, and that's made a huge blue spark. But that was just with one of these leads, so I wouldn't even want to know what that would look like with all of these leads. All the red wires, that's a lower voltage. All the rest of the black wires I didn't even bother to fool with. I guess I should have put every single black wire as negative, but I didn't think it would have fit, even though it all fit perfectly. Blue, orange, those are all basically unimportant wires. But the one wire that is important, that gets this whole system to run, is your green wire. It has to bridge into the negative, any one of the black wires. So if you look closely how I did that, I took a black wire and extended it with some speaker wire. It's probably a horrible thing to do, right? And I put one lead to the switch. This is a regular light switch. They say only use these for alternating current house wire. I don't even know why they say to do that, AC only, but I use direct current DC, and it seems to work fine. So like I said, the green wire has to bridge into the black. It has to connect. When you take a paper clip or something like that, that's what we used to do back in the old days. This here is where the green wire comes in. Comes right in there into the fourth slot. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when it bridges into a black, it causes you're basically tricking the power supply into thinking that you're turning on a computer, when really all you're doing is just bridging two wires. Does that make sense? I hope so. And in turn, that turns on the amplifier. Let's give it a go. I'm gonna hit the switch, and you'll see the red light on the back of the amp turn on. Bam! Works every time. However, the first time I tried it, I had some pretty junk wires. It wasn't really... Ooh. It's running. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, you want to make sure that your wires are not extended too much, or else that'll take away from the sound quality and whatnot. Also, you want to make sure that your fuse is good. People say don't ever connect a direct lead to your amplifier. That's a recipe for destruction. But I mean, there's so much red tape. As long as you know what you're doing and you're comfortable with working with your own equipment, I'd say go ahead. But you're at your own risk. I'm not telling anybody to go ahead and go juck your car amp out of your trunk and throw a sub here and try to put some phone wire into a car switch or some kind of toy switch and try to get that to work. I am not liable for any kind of whatnot. This here is my Boss bass switch, bass controller, whatever you want to call it. It came with the amp, as I said before. Turn this boy up, your house will be shaking. You already know. This sub here, it's not connected to the car amp. It's connected to the sub lead on the ATP3 alternating system. So you're probably thinking, why didn't I just take the lead from this, connect it straight to the sub? I'm pretty sure that would work, which I actually did try that and it worked. But the bass responses are nowhere near as clear as this guy right here. It's just the watts that this thing produces. It's like none other. Like no Altic lancing or nothing else. When I say nothing, I mean nothing else can produce a bass note in a frequency like a car amp. This thing is not 1500 watts for nothing. So I decided, let me not burn out the channels in this ATP3 any further than they are. I mean, this thing kicks bass, it really does. But I just said, let me just go ahead and get a car amp, throw it in there. So this here is ran directly to the amp, and I have to equalize it because this is on a whole separate channel. Like I said, this is left and the sub is right. So when you're playing this alone and you have the switch for this amp off, it sounds really unbalanced. like it's only one side. It's only right that your ATP3 is playing when the sub is playing the left. So I mean, once you turn it up and you equalize the levels between the car amp with the bass switch and the Altec lancing system, it sounds pretty balanced. And that's just about it for this setup. I mean, everything here was below 200 bucks. If you're going out looking for power supply, cable, amp, wiring kit, sub, ATP3, and a set of these, I actually got another one of those over there. It's gonna run you, I imagine, easily over 500 bucks. Wow, I just spent 12 minutes just talking about all this stuff. But thanks a lot for viewing. Give me some thoughts. I'll be making some more videos. Check out my other videos. Please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Add me on Facebook, Davon Abednego. All that stuff will be down in the description. Peace out, guys.